certainly some of the things you talked about just before, I've seen myself with groups of people from different countries, groups of people from different organizations with very different cultures in those organizations, whereby when the people with the same type preferences get together, there's a this is my tribe feeling, whichever background they've come from.
The risk there is that one needs to be able to appreciate difference. And the risk when you get your tribe together, your people, so to speak, is that you can tend to stereotype the other groups, the other types.
Absolutely.
And that's why in the Myers-Briggs type process, you have this very, very, very carefully done process of the ethics and values of using type appropriately. And so we say, I'm not you. I'm not better than you. You and I are simply different. It's like different types of flowers. Go ahead, sir.
I couldn't agree more, Ray. And I think in those exercises where you are together with people of the same type, it's so important then to see how those types differ from each other in a positive way for a purpose of whatever that exercise was. Speaking of those different groups, I saw there was a paper which you, I think you were involved in looking at, and I'm going to save the title of the paper, the relationship between MBTI types of immigrants and the stereotype MBTI type of the United States.
Yes, I had an undergraduate. Yes, well, this is very preliminary work. You know, I had one of my undergraduates who was background from China, and she was wondering about immigration. And I had gotten permission to use a very large database gathered between 2010 and 2013 from the Center for the Application of Psychological Type, which is a well-known organization that basically provides a library of Isabel Briggs Myers' work and Mary McCauley's work and so forth. So I had access to this with some 13,000 cases in it to do a research and to train my students. And this woman wanted to go ahead and look at the types of individuals who describe themselves as immigrants. And with such a large sample, we found 200 or 300 of those, and then compare them with various reference groups, individuals who were similar in gender and age and so forth, but were not immigrants. And the student predicted, she actually predicted it, and it came out, that immigrants would have a distinctive type. Not to say that all immigrants would have this type, but there was a preponderance, a significantly larger proportion of ESTJs, extroverted, sensing, thinking, judging, types that were found among the immigrants. Now, why is that interesting? Two ways it's interesting, and there needs to be more research on this too. Personality psychologists, not only with Myers-Briggs, but with the 5-factor model, which is a trait-based model. It's very similar to the Myers-Briggs for four of the 5 dimensions of that model are equivalent to the Myers-Briggs dimensions, but have looked at national differences. And they call them national stereotypes. So, for example, the American stereotype is ESTP or ESTJ. We're kind of used to call us the ugly American across the pond. I won't ask you what you call us, but anyway,
I couldn't possibly comment.
Business types focusing on getting ahead and making money and materialistic and so forth. And so that's one perspective. Different, let's say, from France, which was actually more your type, INTP in some studies, more individualistic, more thoughtful, reflective, and not so much interested in making money. One little thing I can't resist sharing with you, it's humor. One of my ESTJ colleagues said that he learned it was his father was ESTJ. He says, my dad used to describe my type. He'd write ESTJ. And then with the S, he'd put 2 vertical bars through it, a dollar sign. So that's the United States stereotype. So This Chinese student of mine said, well, it seemed to me that a number of people that want to come in the United States are more likely to want to come here for economic reasons. They want to be successful. Well, I think that's known. I don't want to overgeneralize it, but that might be one difference. And it's also known that people who are more explorer types, who like to be outdoors and to develop and explore areas and live outside of cities, tend to be extroverted sensing thinking. Again, I don't want to overgeneralize. Isn't it interesting, though, that certain questions like this can be addressed with the indicator?
Yeah. And I think it just shows the utility of a type model as a way of understanding human personality.